From a young age, I've believed in the importance of helping others, volunteering, investing in community, peace, and social harmony for the betterment of humankind. At the age of 9, I was drawn to the Rimbey Long-Term Hospital and Care Center. I cannot tell you exactly what sparked my interest here, but deep down, I knew that it was important to spend time with the aging residents, to give back to them for all they had sacrificed for my generation and the generations to come. It was important for me to listen to them, to learn from their many years of experience and wisdom. I began to volunteer, acting as a set of caring ears for those residents whose families resided in faraway places. We would sit for hours completing puzzles as they shared with me memories of their youth, their families, and their pride for their grandchildren. 2 individuals in particular have left a powerful and lasting impact on my life. Joan, a former teacher, who although in her early 90s, was still full of life and inspiration. And Dave, a stroke survivor, who's always so positive, determined, and quick to smile. Both Joan and Dave became like grandparents to me, mentors who taught me many lessons about life, and have consequently helped to shape the person that I am today. As I grew older, I adopted several more complex responsibilities, including but not limited to helping with recreational outings, assisting the in-house hairdresser, and I was the first to become a power wheelchair coach for stroke survivors who had recently acquired power chairs. I would walk alongside them, helping them to rebuild their confidence and mobility as they worked towards overcoming the many adversities brought on by their stroke. Continuing into my teenage years, while also playing on numerous volleyball and basketball teams throughout central Alberta, I maintained my dedication to the residents at the Rimbey Hospital and Care Center. I also embraced several opportunities to take my love for sports to the next level. Beginning in grade 10, I began my responsibilities as a volunteer coach, coaching over 12 volleyball, basketball, and badminton teams throughout my high school and university years. During this time, I also organized, established, and facilitated 5 annual basketball camps for students in grades 4 to 6. Throughout the years, many people have asked me time and time again, why? Why dedicate so much time to the service of others? The reason is simple. Building community and a sense of togetherness is crucial for future harmony and peace within our own homes, communities, and the world. As soon as we stop thinking primarily about me and begin looking out for the interests of others, it is not only their life that improves, so too does ours. When we invest in others, we give them the greatest gift of all. We show them that we believe in them and their potentials as contributing members of society. Everyone is looking out for everyone in a sense that no one is left behind as we work towards building a stronger, more inclusive community. In particular, I truly believe that investing in our youth will bring about positive social change. For these youth are the leaders of tomorrow. They're the future of our society and world. Empowering our youth to become positive leaders is absolutely crucial, and throughout my many years of playing sport and coaching, this ideal has become clearer and clearer. The sport itself becomes more than just a game. It becomes an area in which the skills that one acquires on the court, field, or rink may be applied both within and outside the sporting environment. Many life skills can be learned from sport, including such things as cooperation, humility, commitment, hard work ethic, and self-confidence, to name a few. All of these skills transfer into the real world, and as such, set our young people up for a future of success as they move past the sporting environment. As I entered into college, university, my desire to learn about the global context grew immensely. I developed an unquenchable thirst to enhance my efforts beyond the local level to include a more global perspective. While attending my 3rd year of university, I had the opportunity to hear former Red Deerian Amanda Lindhout share her powerful story of overcoming extreme adversity. Her story is one of resilience, compassion, hope, and the presence of forgiveness in the human spirit. Little did I know, her presentation would change my life forever. In 2008, while working as a journalist in Somalia, Amanda was kidnapped by teenage criminals and held hostage for 460 days. She understood that her captors, some as young as 14, were products of their environment, shaped by decades of war, famine, and extreme poverty. To get through this experience, Amanda made a promise to herself that if she survived, she would dedicate her life to helping create a better future for the people in Somalia. Upon her release in 2009, Amanda put her vision into action and established the Global Enrichment Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to igniting leadership through educational and community-based empowerment programs while undertaking humanitarian and life-saving emergency interventions in times of crisis. Key to GEF's mission is providing women and girls with opportunities to empower themselves through education and economic capacity building, paving the way for all individuals to become agents of change and effective advocates for themselves, their families, and their community. Following Amanda's talk, I found myself thinking about her story and the courage and determination of the Somali people for every waking moment. Her powerful message of hope and forgiveness struck a chord deep inside me. I was moved into action. At the time, I was coaching a grade 9 girls basketball team at Hunting Hills High School. I took the story of the difficulties faced by many women living in Somalia to my team, and I proposed an idea: free throws for Somalia. I explained to them that fewer than 1 in 4 girls have the opportunity to attend primary school in Somalia, and an even smaller percentage of young women have access to post-secondary education. I proposed that we as a team collect pledges to shoot 300 free throws each in a span of less than 2 hours to raise funds and awareness to educate girls and young women in Somalia. The idea was a hit, with 4 of my girls jumping on board. As a strong and determined group, we were able to raise over $4,000 to contribute to GEF's first and flagship initiative, the Somali Women's Scholarship Program, and as such, fund 4 years of one young woman's university education. Later that year, in the summer of 2011, I was still fired up and determined to make a difference. A friend who also shared this passion and I began to brainstorm ways in which we could make an impactful difference while doing what we loved. We organized the very first Ride to Empower bike trip, a fundraiser in which we rode our bikes from Red Deer to Canmore, Alberta, over 220 kilometers in support of the Somali Women's Scholarship Program. Together, we were able to raise over $8,000 to send 2 more women to university for their entire university education. The idea was simple: ride our bikes, collect pledges, empower women, and empower them through the provision of educational opportunity, empowering them to hope, dream, achieve, and promote positive, sustainable changes within their communities and country. Following the ride, my connection to the people of Somalia deepened and my passion to help has expanded. I realized that it was easy to raise funds and awareness to support those living half a world away, enable them to create positive change for the future. I've taken my commitment to GEF and its initiatives in Somalia to the next level. I rallied 8 of my friends who were also inspired to make a difference and established the very first volunteer chapter. B.R.I.T.E, bringing relief inspiring through education, strives to provide proactive and concrete ways for individuals to become involved and support GEF's goal of improving the lives of those living in Somalia. Since its establishment in January of 2012, we have hosted a variety of fundraisers and awareness days, including such things as bake sales, bottle drives, dances, and have attended and set up information booths at several locally planned events in Red Deer, building a sense of community both here in Red Deer and abroad. To date, B.R.I.T.E has worked tirelessly to raise over $10,000 in support of several key GEF initiatives, including the Somali Women's Scholarship Program, Food for Hope, a school-based food aid program that supports over 800 young students living in an internally displaced peoples camp outside of Somalia's war-torn capital, Mogadishu. She Will, a program supporting survivors of gender-based violence in Mogadishu, and Hoops for Hope, one that cultivates leadership through sport. Very similar to my own ideals and beliefs about the potentials of sport, GEF also believes that playing sport is not just about the game. Participation cultivates teamwork, leadership, friendship, and physical fitness, which are all important aspects to any young woman's life. As these women own their skills, they're building self-confidence and having fun. They are also acting as positive role models, inspiring other young women to push boundaries in order to reach their full potentials. Conflict and war in Somalia over the past 2 decades has eroded a cultural heritage that traditionally encouraged women to engage in activities to build her personal capacities. Today, a woman's right to play sport is restricted, and in some parts of Somalia, forbidden. Despite this, Somali women continue to come together in teams dedicated to sport. With extremely limited resources, these courageous athletes usually practice without proper shoes, equipment, or athletic courts. The opportunity to join a sponsored and supported sports team is a significant way for a woman to improve her daily life and health. My love and passion for the game of basketball, along with all the lessons and joy that is brought to my own life, led me, a friend from Stony Plain, and the B.R.I.T.E crew to raise enough funds to assist GEF in providing sponsorship for the first 2 female basketball teams to exist in Somalia in over 2 decades. The Abarso Tech Socceroos are a high school team located in northern Somalia, and the Elephants, or Maradiasha in Somali, are based out of the Elman Peace and Human Rights Center in Mogadishu. The girls chose to name themselves the Elephants because to them, the elephant represents one of the strongest animals that can crush anything, but is never a predator or terror in its habitat. The elephant has an unspoken grace, but when push comes to shove, it can definitely handle its own. The elephant is also considered to be very smart, and in all of these characteristics, the girls truly felt that it was the perfect symbol for them. Many of these young girls have suffered and overcome extreme adversity in their young lives, yet with few possessions to their name, they foster great hope and optimism for the future. Many are aspiring doctors, teachers, reporters, politicians, and are determined to make a difference for not only themselves, but for their families, community, and country. Take 16-year-old Samra, for example. Playing basketball and participating in GEF She Will program has made a positive and lasting impact on her life. Samra describes her time spent at the Elman Peace and Human Rights Center as an escape from the adversities of her daily life. She explains that the center provides her with the freedom to be herself. Samra's the head of her class. She excels in both English and math. Her success in her schoolwork gives her the confidence that she needs to study and work hard to realize her aspirations of becoming a teacher. She says, "I have a big heart, see the good in everyone, and want to help people through teaching." A particularly powerful motto that motivates this inspiring 16-year-old reads, "A life without education is a life without light to guide you in the darkness." Extremely motivating are stories and visions like this. No words can express the joy and elation that we felt and continue to feel when we receive photos and updates from these incredibly courageous and inspirational women. Their courage, determination, and hope for a more peaceful future continues to inspire me every day and has deepened my desire to support their efforts. This past summer, through the 2nd annual Ride to Empower, my dad and I were able to raise over $6,600 in support of GEF's Rajo Literacy School, which provides English language instruction and basic computer skills training to 75 Somali refugee women residing in Eastleigh, Nairobi, Kenya. This was almost enough to fund the school for an entire year. GEF initiatives like Rajo, meaning hope in Somali, support and encourage the development of female leadership skills, and I truly stand behind them in this vision. For every Somali woman, if given the chance, has the potential to make significant contributions to the development of Somalia. I hold great hope and optimism for the future of the women and girls participating in the Rajo school. Their future, the future of their children, community, and country is bound to be brighter, and I look forward to the accomplishments that they will no doubt make by means of creating a safer, more peaceful country. If you educate a woman, there is an even better chance that her children will also receive an education. This is what will affect positive, sustainable change in Somalia. Over the past 3 years, I have raised over $15,000 in support of GEF's programs. Clearly, this has become a major passion of mine, one in which I pour my heart and soul into. Every spare moment that I have, I am thinking about what I can do to make a difference. How best can my skills, efforts, and passions help to empower the lives of those not only in Somalia, but around the world? I thoroughly enjoy spending this time working to help improve the lives of others. I can't imagine dedicating my spare time to anything else. It has, however, not always been easy. I have met with criticism and resistance from others, those who do not share the same passion and vision. I have once again been faced with the question, why? Why Somalia? Often followed by, you're never going to make a difference there. This is where I disagree. When asked why Somalia, I say why not Somalia? For over 2 decades, Somalia has been a country in which the majority of the world is forgotten, a place in which the world has turned its back, a place that has been written off as hopeless. It is time, however, to change these thoughts and perceptions. It is time to open our eyes to the hope and potentials that lie within Somalia. Through my involvement with GEF, I have recognized the power that supporting and empowering the Somali people can have. GEF is empowering them, particularly women and children, who I believe to be the future leaders of the country, to harness and create Somali-driven solutions, enabling them to help themselves, heal their country, and create culturally acceptable and sustainable change for the future. I have chosen to support Somalia because I truly believe in the positive potentials that lie within the country, potentials for a brighter, more peaceful, secure, and sustainable future. However, I recognize that everyone has different passions and interests. So I'm not expecting that you will, from listening to my talk, be moved towards joining my cause. I'd be thrilled if you did. What I am expecting is that you begin to think about what your interests, passions, skills, and talents are. I expect that you begin to think about how you can utilize these things to make a positive, sustainable difference, whether it is within your own home, community, or globally. It is time for us as individuals, as global citizens, to step up to the plate and help to enhance the well-being of our fellow citizens within our own communities and around the world. Empower each and every individual to reach their full potentials